So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the channel. As always, thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a few. My name is Rich. I'm the channel host, and 9 times out of 10, when you come over here, we're going to be talking about drones, drone construction progression reporting, and we're going to start talking a little more about other tech. So today's title, Too Hot for the Tech, and testing the GoPro Hero 10 and overheating. So recently we made the decision to get one of the GoPro Hero 10s. A friend of ours was using one on his mountain bike. We're doing some video editing for him, and the video quality was amazing off the GoPro Hero 10. By the way, in this video, I'm not going to trash on the Hero 10. I'm going to talk about what we've discovered and what we've learned. There's a lot of videos out there right now talking about the overheating with the Hero 10, and it seems like this has been kind of an ongoing issue, but we're going to talk about that a little more later. In the meantime, let's talk about why we got this. So seeing our friend's video capture from his mountain biking with the super smoothing on the GoPro was pretty astounding. No gimbal, just something on his chest harness. And it got me to thinking about some of the presentations we do when we go out on customer job sites, when we go to construction sites, and when I'm doing classes for classes.azdrone.net. When I'm doing these things, I like to include more, but sometimes setting up multiple cameras around a job site while doing the job is just inconvenient, too time consuming, or sometimes you're trying to beat the heat and you've got to get things done quickly. So when we saw the video quality coming out of the GoPro Hero 10, we decided to place an order. And so here it is, the GoPro Hero 10. We've only been testing this for a couple of days now. So there's that Hero 10 Black, and there's where the camera is, and the giant screen on the back. So we've been playing with this. We played with this around our neighborhood, and recently I had to go out and do another client flight. So one of the reasons that we picked this up was so that we could document some of our flights. Let me go ahead and close this one, and let's just open up right here. So the idea was, as I'm doing some of my flights for our clients, we'd get the drone up, we'd talk about the drone settings, what we're doing with the drone, and not recording on the iPhone. Because we could do a screen recording on the iPhone, of course, but doing the screen recording on the iPhone is going to have the iPhone doing more things, leading to a potential for overheating as well. So as you can see in this screen right now, I'm actually just getting the drone up in the air. So we're having a little fun toward the end of our visit. We've already done some of our flight work for the client. We've done a new two-dimensional orthomosaic model for them. Now I'm just getting some B-roll, so I'm walking along behind the drone. So the idea of what we were up to here was including some of this kind of stuff. And yes, I know bouncy footwork. We're just learning how to use the Hero 10, so we're still settling into all the features of it, and you'll be seeing things up and coming on channel here, and hopefully it will be with the Hero 10. So as we were finishing up and wrapping up some of our work, we had brought the drone back, we were getting ready to land the drone, getting ready to turn the Hero 10 off, and the Hero 10 got ahead of itself, and it turned itself off. So I got the beeps from the GoPro just as I was landing the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. My first thought was that beeping coming from my controller, my phone? And then I realized, nope, that's coming from the GoPro. So we ran into the dreaded overheating problem, which is still a problem today. Let me pause this really quick and let's just take a look. And as you can see, I did a search this morning for the GoPro Hero 10 overheating. And there's a lot of people chiming in, some on the pro, some on the negative side, some people with some solutions going on. But as you can see, just simple GoPro Hero 10 overheating. As I'm scrolling down and scrolling down and scrolling down, there's a lot of people talking about this overheating issue. By the way, speaking of overheating, before I forget, yesterday morning I was going to start recording this video that we're watching right now. And I logged in, got onto YouTube, and I saw a notification that one of the folks that I follow had posted something. Sure enough, Russ over at 51 Drones, one of my favorite channels here, he did one on Too Hot to Fly, and I said, well, I'm doing something similar, but I'll post mine after after he's posted his. He wasn't talking about the issue we're having. He's talking about flying with drones and the heat. So yeah, no drone overheating for us for the morning, just the GoPro overheating. I've got to say to you that the GoPro overheating occurred when it was 81 degrees Fahrenheit. There wasn't really any wind going on or anything, and my gut reaction was that I was not a happy camper at all about this. While we're talking about this, we're just going to play some other things in the background here for you. Some of it's bouncy, some of it's messy. We're still learning, so I'm going with that. Yesterday, Jody took the GoPro out to Watson Lake to do some walking around because in our testing, after that first overheat, when we got back from the client location, you can imagine I was a little ticked off. I said, why has this thing shut itself off on me? And what can be done about it? And so when we got back to the office, I'm just going to, let's see if we can find a longer one here to go along with while we're chatting. All right, there we go. So once again, Jody's just figuring out where to mount the camera and everything. But the bigger part of her testing yesterday when she went to the field was to see about this overheating. When we got back from the job site, we did some additional testing. So we took the GoPro out into the kitchen. The kitchen was about 72 degrees. And we put it on the lower settings. So, you know, when we were first testing it out, we were doing the 4K, super smoothing. All these things can lead to heat issues. You know, you're working this little camera, you know, like a workhorse here. So when we did the testing inside of the house, in fact, we had several overheating moments. Only when we set it down to the lowest quality setting, which is what she's got this on right now. So Jody was doing the 1080 setup, the 30 frames a second. She did not have the overheating issue. But as I said, when we tested at home with different modes, we ran into the overheating time and time again. Here's the deal. All of those videos that I just flashed up on screen before from YouTube, people are proposing fixes. They're letting you know some of the issues they've seen. They're letting you know how they've dealt with it. And one of the videos that I watched that I found very informative. Let's pause this here and let's pull this up again. One of the videos that I found was from David Manning here. So I watched his full video where he compared a lot of different action cameras. And he went through some of the reasons why issues were happening. He also talked about his interaction with GoPro support. And it took me from being ticked off about the camera to feeling a little better about it because he made some great points. So do several of the other folks out there. So if you want to see some of the ways to minimize the heating or deal with the heating completely, I'd suggest checking out his video and checking out some of the other ones as well. What I've learned from them, you know, this is an incredibly small camera and we're asking it to do a lot of work depending on the modes that we're in. So if we're in the 4K, the super smoothing, the horizon correction, all of these things accumulate. All of these things are running this camera hotter. So the other thing that was pointed out when we were hitting these overheating moments, this was about 20 minutes into recording and 30 minutes into recording. So the 20 to 30 minutes. Now, normally people using action cameras are doing actions. They're on a mountain bike, they're on a kayak, maybe they're swimming somewhere, they're canoeing. You get the idea. They're bicycling on the roads. And so when they're out doing these things and doing active things, they're getting a breeze across the camera. So they're actually getting cooling while they're being active. So that's one of the things. The intention that we have for this is probably me going to be standing still a good bit, people seeing the controller and seeing what I'm up to with it and seeing the overall job site as we move around the job site. So there's a lot less motion in the type of video that we decided to do and we decided to try the Hero 10 for. So what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks is I'm going to be including more footage from the GoPro here, and we're going to be incorporating that with some of our flights where we've resumed some of our construction projects. And big happy news here is that some of the projects that were delayed and on hold are now starting to resume again. So we're back to going out and flying several times a week again, which is great. It means that we're in business and that we're paying our bills. But so as we're doing this testing, I'll keep you updated here. We'll show you some of the clips from it. Overall, there is a GoPro Hero 10 overheating issue out there. At some point, the camera can overheat. Doing the firmware updates and doing some of the other things that some of the other online content producers will show us. I mean, the reason why I like David so much is he did a comparison of multiple cameras, replicated the same scenarios over and over again. That way you could see when the heating was happening. But realistically, if you're using this as an action camera and you're out being active, most likely you're not going to run into this. The other thing is, are you going to record 20 minutes straight? Probably not. Instead, you're probably going to be clicking it on and off and, just picking those select scenes that you want to showcase in whatever types of videos you're building. So most likely the target consumers of this camera are doing things the right way. And by the right way, I mean they're making shorter clips and they're also doing things that are going to cool the camera down. So there we go, everybody. I just wanted to share this one with you because you'll see some of this testing coming up here. And as we're, well, that's kind of tilted to the side there. Like I said, Jody was just testing things out. And, we do a lot of testing with all the equipment that we utilize in the business. I don't do a lot of reviews usually. I'm thinking about changing that up and actually starting to do more reviews because we do use a whole bunch of gear. And as a matter of fact, today I'm doing a second recording because I've been using the Rode Wireless Go 2 system for quite some time now. And I just wanted to talk about the audio quality, some of the things that I've seen over the past year with it, and my overall impressions with it. I'm still using it. It's right here on me, so it must mean that I like it pretty well. So there we go. There's my 2 cents on the overheating issue. Wow, Jody's got to slow that pan down. But there's my 2 cents on the overheating issue. I hope this was informative to you, and if you are considering a GoPro Hero 10, I'd suggest read around, but keep in mind the application that we had intended might not be the best application for this camera. Fortunately, we're going to use it as an action camera as well. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you again real soon on channel. Be sure to like and subscribe down below.